politician. Another time the mayor of Monticello, New York, charged with drunk driving, busted by his own cops, and then that generated a litany of profanity-filled racial ranting. He ripped a clock off the wall, became sort of aggressive, all caught on videotape, of course, then posted on YouTube. Take a look.
Mayor or no mayor, you know something? I'm 54 years old. You're gonna find out. I ain't paying no taxes. I got 5 properties, 6 properties. You ain't doing in this community. Whatever you read, no.
Earn arrest for driving while intoxicated.
Why they got your black doing it? They ain't got no other white man doing it. So they use me for a Tom. Don't let them use you as a Uncle Tom, man. Who's at the desk? Who's at the desk?
Wow.
His attorney says, yeah, you like that, Jenny? Nice, huh? His attorney says he wasn't drunk. I kind of think, I don't know what you think, Jenny, but I think he should hope he was intoxicated. I hope he was intoxicated.
Yeah, because otherwise, if he just can't control himself under ordinary circumstances without the alcohol, then that's really troublesome, extra troublesome.
Right, and if he's drinking to the point that he has serious behavioral difficulty, I have great compassion for that. But if you're just being aggressive, I'm not so sure. Joining us, Mark Eiglarsh, attorney at SpeakToMark.com, Tiffany Davis-Henry, psychotherapist and HLN contributor, Shagun Oduolowu, social commentator, Debbie Matenopoulos joins us. She is cast member of Home and Family on Hallmark Channel, author of the cookbook, It's All Greek to Me. And on the phone, Rita Cosby, investigative reporter. Rita, can you give us the latest?
Dr. Drew, this mayor is in meltdown mode for all the world to see. The mayor of Monticello, New York, is out on bail after being busted for drunk driving, among other things. He was acting strangely at an accident scene and then got behind the wheel of a car. Now, the video of police interrogating him, you've seen a bit of it, it is damning. He is seen using racial slurs, calling the officers in his own force Nazis and members of the KKK. And as you said, he's even seen smashing that clock off the wall. And this is not the mayor's first brush with the law. In 2012, he was charged with selling counterfeit sneakers and was arrested for having an altercation with a cop. In this latest case of what looks like a lunatic caught on tape, he refused to take a breathalyzer test. Now, as you said, his attorney says he was not drunk, that he was just angry, and he has pleaded not guilty. Other town officials don't buy that he wasn't boozing. They are calling for him to resign, but the feisty mayor is hanging on and hoping after Thanksgiving they'll be in a charitable mood, and that's when they will officially decide his fate. Dr. Drew?
Well, thank you, Rita. I want to get my panel's reaction to the video. I'll start with you, Debbie. Was he drunk or just frustrated with the situation?
He seemed like he was drunk to me. If he wasn't drunk, well, he was under the influence of something, it appears. I mean, I really don't know what to say, but I think people need to be held accountable for their own actions. Especially if you're a mayor, you should be held to even a higher standard than most of us.
And it brings up an interesting point, Mark. But Mark, that seems to be the thing that's the theme here. We have mayors behaving badly. This is Mayor's Gone Wild is my new video series, in fact. But that people are constantly crying out for them to be held to a higher standard, and why can't the mayors understand that?
Listen, I'm judging this guy based on what I saw. I only wanted to watch a few minutes of this video. I spent hours watching what took place, and what I saw was someone who was completely impaired. In fact, he's going to argue, I wasn't drunk, my speech wasn't slurred, I was merely speaking in cursive. This is the kind of guy that we're dealing with.
Well, it sounds familiar. I mean, I think our mayor in Toronto had similar, remember my fancy word last week, obfuscating, dissembling sort of process going on. But Shagun, he gets pretty out of hand here, calling one of the African-American officers a Tom. Wouldn't you say this is completely out of line?
Yeah, well, see, my issue with the mayor is so that we can all stay consistent. He was operating a motor vehicle. Now, the mayor in Toronto smokes crack. If you want to harm yourself, that's your business. But when you get behind a vehicle, you potentially become an assassin. And anyone, I don't care if you're a mayor, the president, or a regular Joe Schmo on the street, driving while intoxicated is a serious offense. And for that reason, for that lack of judgment, I think he should step down. Clearly, the language, the rhetoric he was using was unacceptable. I mean, you can tell that if, like Mark said, if he's not drunk, he's on something really powerful because he rips a clock off the wall. So, I mean, he's literally losing his mind.
Well, he's just frustrated. You know those cops, they're tough to deal with.
Come on.
I have to.
Especially when you're the mayor. Tiffany, come on, join me in this.
I have to respectfully disagree with Shagun. Like, I don't know that he was necessarily drunk. He did not have a breathalyzer. I admit he did act strangely, not the way that I would behave had I been arrested. But we don't know for sure what he was on, what he was drinking, if he was drinking. We just know that he has a potty mouth, that he probably needs to be in a different line of work, and hopefully he will be able to explain his behavior at some point in the very near future.
Tiffany, my dear, can I just say something?
You can say whatever you like.
If it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, like there are very few times where you say, you know what, I'm not going to take a breathalyzer when you haven't been drinking.
Yeah.
Right.
Like let's just use common sense.
Having been drinking versus drunk are two different things. There are plenty of people that may have had a drink.
Well, you know, when I have a drink
every so often, I don't rip clocks off walls. I'm just saying.
Well, I'm sorry, Shagun, I do, okay?
All right, Drew.
To each their own.
Can I get in here?
Mark, you've seen more of this. Yeah, come on in.
Oh, no, for over 20 years I've been handling DUI cases. I watch a lot of videos, and no, he's not falling down drunk, but if you listen, spend some time listening, he makes no sense at all. And then I immediately went to YouTube to plug in and try to find a time when he wasn't impaired, allegedly, and there's a drastic difference in his demeanor.
Right.
Yeah,
it pains me to agree with
Maybe he was on medication.
Strangely enough.
If he wasn't
Go
impaired,
ahead, Jenny.
If he wasn't impaired, Dr. Drew, then even the bigger problem is, look, you're a mayor. You're used to being on camera. You're used to knowing, and you should know that there are video cameras everywhere we turn. And in terms of a potty mouth type situation, look, many of us, when not on TV, might use wrong language or like curse words, but then the cameras are on.
You know
we
what?
stop.
I'll tell you what, though, I'm
agree.
coming down with Tiffany. We're used to looking for other potential causes of altered mental status if somebody isn't clearly intoxicated, which is, I'm with you, Tiffany. I'm not sure he's intoxicated. I hope he's intoxicated. I really do.
That would be a great excuse. You know, I'd ride that one on out.
It would explain it. We can treat that. But whatever is going on here is something very bizarre. And Mark, he's impaired. There's no doubt about it. The question is it alcohol related? But Debbie, I think Shagun made the point was that if you're not going to take a breathalyzer, perhaps you're trying to hide something.
Hey.
Right. I mean, I don't know anyone who's ever been pulled over and said they don't want to take a breathalyzer unless they've been drinking or unless they're under the influence of something.
Well,
oh,
hold
Shagun's
on.
had some experience. Hold on, Shagun's not refused the breathalyzer for some reason. Let's hear.
I live in Los Angeles, so I get stopped quite frequently just for driving my car. But that's a whole other story.
Yeah, but they don't ask you to take a breathalyzer.
No, and here's the thing. When you refuse to take a breathalyzer, and he's the mayor, it is the appearance of suspicion. So if he had been doing nothing wrong, and like we've been arguing and saying, he's the mayor. He's in front of cameras all the time. He knows what it looks like when he refuses the breathalyzer. His actions are erratic. If we don't want to say he was drunk or on something, they're definitely erratic.
Drew.
My biggest concern
One question, Mark, for you, though. I have one question. Hold on.
Yes.
But you're right, but he's also grandiose there, and he thinks a lot of himself. We heard him talking about his properties, and he's the mayor and all this stuff. But Mark, why didn't they? Aren't they required then to take a blood test if they refuse the breathalyzer?
Oh, yeah.
No. In fact, in most jurisdictions, you're not permitted to. But let me get back to the refusal, okay? The fact that he refused to blow, to me, I didn't even consider that because I have a lot of clients who refuse to blow for many reasons other than being impaired. What concerned me the most is that, let me just say this, if this was a white guy who said the same things about African Americans, there would be protests. You got to watch these videos and some of the things he says.
Right,
it is racist, and I was offended by what he was saying. And it wasn't just one comment. It was a series of comments over hours of time that he sat there.
I agree. I agree. And
All right,
I was
hold on.
Can we stop playing the race card, please? Can we stop playing the race card? I mean, and what I mean by that is this.
Watch
What
the
I mean by
video.
this,
Nobody's playing
there
it.
are
He's playing it.
there are appropriate places to discuss it, and what he was doing and what he was saying. The words are less offensive than his actions driving a car, potentially harming other people.
Yeah.
So if he's
All
a
right,
potty
Brandon,
mouth,
hold it.
that's-
Leave it
well,
right
that's one
there. Leave it
factor,
there.
yes.
Everybody's mic's off. Everybody's mic's off. Next, if the mayor wasn't